In this particular video, we're going to be looking at how to cast on in the round using double-pointed needles. To start casting on the round with DPNs then, I've got my 5 DPNs. One is already in use here, and I have cast on 80 stitches onto it using a second one as the working needle. So keeping this the way it is then, I'm going to have the working yarn, which leads to the ball, towards the right hand side. That's exactly where we just left off, and the tail where I started the cast on is hanging off the other side there. That's a bit curly because it's a second hand piece of yarn. First thing to do once you've cast on your 80 stitches, or however many it is, onto one of your DPNs, is to slip purlwise 1/4, so in that case it's 20, from the left needle over to the new working needle, which is one of the DPNs you just picked up. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, nearly missed that one, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There we go. So I've now got 20 stitches on this second needle, and I've got the other 60 remaining on the first. So the next thing I do is I'm going to drop this needle, and don't worry, tension and friction and physics are going to make sure that that doesn't slide out anywhere. I'm going to pick up a third needle, and continuing with the same needle in the left hand, I'm just going to slip the next 20 stitches onto this third needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Spreading those out across there, I've now got 3 needles in play, and I'm going to drop those 2, apologies for the noises of scraping, and I'm going to pick up my 4th needle and slip another 20 onto that one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, slide them up there, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. There we go. I've now got those 80 stitches arranged on 4 of my double pointed needles. So here's where things start to get interesting. You're going to pick them up, making sure that the cast on edge, you can see all these knobbly bits here, stay on the inside of your collection of needles. There on the outside, no good. Keep them on the inside there. We want to make sure that that doesn't twist at all. And I'm going to bring around where I started the cast on, which is where this tail is hanging down, with this point on the needle where I just finished. Now it's important to realise I need to have all of my stitches towards the ends, where both of the yarns are hanging from. So I've got the working yarn there and the tail there, and these are the 2 ends that are going to be in play. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that the working yarn goes over the top of that last needle there, pick up the final needle here, and then, making sure I don't drop everything in the process, I'm now going to just work into that first stitch there. The very first stitch I made with the cast on needle. I'm going to wrap the yarn around, and then I'm going to pull it through, and I have successfully joined all of my needles together. I've now got, if you can see with that tail out the way, I've now got a circle of 4 needles, and I'm working onto the 5th. What I then do is continue working on this one, ignoring what's going on with the back needles. You can just let them hang there. I'm just going to work knitting all the way along this first needle of the group, and when I get to the end of this first needle, what you'll notice is that all of the stitches that are on what was this first needle over here will have transferred themselves, as if by magic, over onto this needle here. What that means is the needle in my left hand will become free. It'll come free from the work completely, and the needle that I'm working the stitches onto, this one here in my right hand, will be incorporated into the square completely. And we're nearly there, so I can split the yarn on that one. I'm nearly there, so I can show you exactly what that's going to look like when we get there. All the other needles will want to get in your way, just don't let them, don't worry about that at all. And here we are, the last stitch is being worked from that needle in my left hand, which now pops entirely free from the work, leaving me with 4 needles there. All I then do is I rotate 90 degrees in that direction, clockwise as I look down at it, and I bring what is now the free needle back into play, and I'm ready to start my way working around the next side. And you continue doing that all the way round, and I'm completely now working in the round, or as we now know it to be, in a big spiral. And once again, when I reach the end of this needle here, the needle in my left hand will pop free of the work, and the one in my right hand will be fully incorporated. I'll show you that turn again. Needles always want to get in the way towards the corners, but just either let them hang there where they want to or get them out of the way with your fingers. Here's the last stitch. There we are, and this one pops free. I rotate the work around there, so I'm holding on to the next needle in my left hand, ready to stick that needle in through that first stitch on it, and I'm ready to go again. That was casting on in the round using double pointed needles, the most traditional way possible.